Hello and welcome to another episode of Crizzy Books. I'm Crizzy, or Criz, but only my homeboys call me Criz. And today I'm going to be doing a review for Upgrade by Blake Crouch. So I read Dark Matter earlier this year, also by Blake Crouch, and if you want to check that review out, go ahead and I'll do one of those things right here. You can go check that out for my thoughts. Overall, I enjoyed it. So I wanted to read some more stuff by him. And this one sounded interesting. So I figured, why not? We'll give it a whirl. Overall, it was fine. I don't think that I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed Dark Matter. And I think that maybe some of the issues or problems that I had with Dark Matter, this one also kind of suffers from. But let's just get into it. What did I like? What did I not like? What did I like? This does not take very long to get into the action, which I really appreciate. The pacing felt right for the most part. It's not super long too, so it gets points for that. The characters also feel pretty fleshed out. I understand their motivations. Sometimes they do feel a little cliche, but I can get over that. One thing that I did really like, and that I think Crouch does a really good job of, is setting up a pretty realistic future. We're in a world where genetic modification, DNA has... I don't know. They can manipulate DNA. You can do all kinds of things. You can create viruses, genetically alter animals to do all kinds of things. One of the big plot points in this is that the main character, his mother, genetically modified locusts in China, had something to do with food and food production, and what it ended up causing was a giant catastrophe that caused a worldwide famine, and 200 million people died or something. So they live in this near future where you could potentially genetically alter yourself or other people, infect a bunch of people with things, which is what this plot follows. The main character's mother, again, shows up and infects him and his sister, and they become upgraded, pretty much in every single way. But I thought that the future that Crouch describes here was done really well. We have rising costs, very similar to what we're going through right now. Food shortages, a general kind of anger and distrust with the world, this kind of impending, just sitting around waiting for the world to end feeling. One of the bigger plot points is what I don't even remember the main guy's name. Logan and his sister are at odds with each other. They both become upgraded by their mother's, genetic modification that she infected both of them with. And her intention was for them to use that to then infect other people so that they could save the human race. They're at odds with that. His sister wants to do that. She doesn't care if it ends up hurting or killing a bunch of people in the process. She thinks it's totally necessary. Logan disagrees and thinks that there might be a better way. She does her first infection in a small town in Montana, and Logan starts to hear about these things. He starts reading things online, suspecting that it's her behind it. But I really liked this part, and I thought it was pretty creepy, the way that some of the people were acting like he was watching videos on his phone on a Twitter. People are acting super strange and attacking people in town. It was almost like a zombie outbreak. I really liked this part. It was pretty cool, pretty chilling. And then on that video, the comments underneath were also pretty funny and super accurate. Another part of this, as I was talking, I thought that this near future and genetically modifying society that we're seeing was pretty cool. He meets this man named Feld, who is able to make animal creations, genetically modifying, animals and making new creatures that he then sells to super rich people. And everything that he was describing of all these different animals in these cages. And I wanted more of this. Give me a whole book on that. I love that. I thought that was really cool. At the ending, one of the parts that I really liked, and kind of this silver lining to this really bleak dystopian, future that these people are living in. New York is flooded and uninhabitable, basically, but people still live there. And he kind of happens upon this small community that's living on skiffs and boats and rafts, and they all seem generally happy. They're all getting along, and they've created kind of their own ecosystem in this area where nobody really wants to live. And in a kind of a setting that seems pretty hopeless. And I liked that. I thought that was really cool, and kind of like this reverting back from modern society where it feels like we're more and more disconnected from each other, and a giant catastrophe or, this climate change forcing people into reverting back to what a community actually is and relying on each other and working together to just survive. I really liked that. It was nice. So let's get into what did I not like. So, spoiler warning, I'm going to talk about Dark Matter. It's really hard for me not to compare this to it. So if you haven't read Dark Matter, you don't want it to be spoiled, I'm going to put a timestamp right here. And that's where you can go to skip over this so that it doesn't spoil Dark Matter. But I'm going to talk about it right now. You've been warned. Right now. Again, I found it really, really hard not to compare this to Dark Matter because the entire first act is almost exactly the same. Like every single beat. We meet our guy. He's doing something happens to him, and then he gets kidnapped and even injected with a needle, and then he's put in a solitary confinement cell where he's monitored by these people, and then he finds out that these people are actually people that he knows, and then he's rescued by somebody and breaks out of the black site and all. That's exactly what Dark Matter was. It's the same exact thing. I found that to be a little annoying because it's just is it come on, be a little more creative here. I'll also say I did struggle quite a bit really to get into this one. I felt like it would start and stop a lot. There was a lot of talk about DNA and genome editing and all that. It goes into it maybe a little too much considering what the book actually is as a whole. Maybe a little too much of that. We need more action. I just feel like, it just really bogged down any momentum that was happening. So basically the entire premise of this book just makes our main character out to be invincible, essentially. He can do all kinds of things. He can sense what people are thinking and feeling just by, twitches in their face or whatever, dilation in their pupils. He can slow down time and dodge bullets. He's super strong. He's essentially James Bond. And at the end of this book, it literally feels like a James Bond movie. He stops his sister and he grabs the backpack of whatever the serum is, and he jumps out of the building while he's getting shot at and parachutes away as the building explodes, and it's just so fucking ridiculous. I was rolling my eyes around this point of just Jesus Christ. Okay, if you're gonna take all this DNA shit so seriously and keep telling me all about that, but then this is what's happening, it just felt so cliche and just so what kind of a book am I reading here? Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest issue that I had. He just became this overpowered guy who also was a little contradictory to this whole book. He's kind of looking at himself as being better. I'm too good of a person to follow through with my mom's plan, and I think my sister is evil for wanting to do something this because people are going to get hurt. People are going to die. But he kills a lot of people pretty indiscriminately in this, and it's just they're bad guys, and it's you're so against killing people, but you have killed a bunch of people on your way to do whatever you think is great. Which honestly, I don't know if it's supposed to go that deep, but at the end, obviously Logan puts his plan into place, which is to make everybody more empathetic, and to have more feelings towards each other in the planet. But that's what he thinks is the right thing to do. Is it? I don't know. Maybe his sister was right. Maybe that was the right path. I don't know. Is he the good guy, or is he just the other side of an evil coin like his sister? It is kind of interesting to think of it in that way, and to think that, he thinks of himself as the good guy. He's better than her, but he's making that decision for everybody else. It's this weird thing. He gets to play God now instead of letting somebody else. It's an interesting way to look at it. But anyway, I don't know if the book is actually that deep or not. I would say based on all of the action, hijinks, and cliches that it's not. Overall, I'm going to give Upgrade a 3 out of 5. I thought it was just fine. I definitely Didn't love it. Yeah, it just felt a little too generic for me, I think. But it was quick. It reads pretty well, reads pretty fast. So if you think you want to give it a go, if you like other stuff by Blake Crouch, I would say sure, check it out. But overall, not totally for me. What do you think? Have you read Upgrade? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to hit the like button. Absolutely smash that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.